Muscular dystrophy is a genetic disease that causes progressive muscle weakness. More than 20,000 people in Australia are affected, and unfortunately there is no specific treatment or cure.
Lucy Burns is a mother of two, a general practitioner, a businesswoman and an innovative fundraiser who also has muscular dystrophy. She's determined to use brains, beauty and brawn to help raise money for research, and she joins us now. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Kim.
Look, let's talk about muscular dystrophy because I think it's not uncommon in Australia. I think about 20,000 people have it. What is it exactly?
Yeah, look, it's a group of diseases, so there are a few different forms of it, and basically they're all characterised by progressive and irreversible muscle weakness and wasting. There's currently no treatment or cure for any of the dystrophies available around at the moment.
And is it always hereditary?
Yeah, look, it's genetic. But there are quite a few just spontaneous events. So what happens is that during the gene process, something goes wrong, and so a person may not necessarily have any family history, but suddenly their child has it.
So for a young, beautiful, intelligent woman,
thank you,
in a family where you've seen your grandfather and your father and your grandmother, as I understand it, have some of the symptoms, how did it feel for you when you found out that this was going to affect you as well? Yeah,
look, initially my dad has been really lucky. He's had a very mild version of it, and I think that's probably the scary thing, is that you can have parents with mild versions, you can have children with severe versions. In my case, my one's called FSHD, which stands for facioscapulohumeral dystrophy, hence we call it FSHD because that's too hard to say.
Facioscapular.
Yeah. So it affects my face, so I can't blow my cheeks out. Bassoon playing's off my agenda.
Bagpipes are not enough.
Yeah, bagpipes, I've really missed out. And raising my arms and that sort of stuff. And in my case, it also affects my legs. So it's a bit of a misnomer, in fact. So, yeah, it is confusing, and I do understand that the general public do get confused about it because there's this sort and there's this sort. But at the end of the day, I think you just say they're all characterised by progressive muscle weakness and wasting.
Does it always progress, though, or can you get it and it'll stay stagnant, or is it really only the speed at which the muscle...
they all progress, and it's the speed, and people have variable speed patterns.
Hell, then how do you deal with it? I mean, how do you... You must worry about this progressive wastage. You must.
Denial is a fantastic mechanism, and I think initially that was it. I just pretended I didn't have it. I didn't want to know anything about it. I didn't have anything to do with Muscular Dystrophy Association. If people asked me why was I limping, I'd make up something about, I stubbed my toe. I just pretended it wasn't an issue. But, I've now had 2 children. I've got a walking stick and a disabled parking permit. I wear cuffs. I have to acknowledge the fact that there is something going on here.
There's a great story behind the disabled parking permit, because further to that, you denied, you didn't want to know, you didn't want to even use the word disability, but it's important that you kind of embrace that to a certain extent, isn't it? Yeah,
it was a significant marker, though, getting that disabled parking permit, because in my mind I had, that makes me a disabled person. But, recently I've been talking to people, and it's just a tool. Like somebody uses a hammer if they're a carpenter, this is a tool that I use to make my job easier. Yeah. And that's how I've had to focus of it in my brain, because otherwise, who wants to go around thinking they're a disabled person? Yeah. No one wants to think like that. So I don't. In fact, I do everything to not mention it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk
about the kids. Sorry to bring
it up. Well, the kids have grown up obviously knowing that mum doesn't have the strength and the ability to do some things. Yeah. What's that done for them?
Look, they're very independent, and it's a double-edged sword.
That's a good thing.
It is. It's mostly fantastic. Yeah. It meant they've known from a very young age that I don't carry them, pick them up, but they also run away. And so, I'm spending my whole life, making sure they don't run away, and that was a fear. And now that they're older, of course, they understand. But certainly as toddlers, that was difficult.
Yeah.
But look, I think part of the thing is that I want to project for my daughters a positive role model. I want them to think, that's my mum, she's a doctor, that's my mum, she's got a business, that's my mum, she started Australia's biggest book group. Not, that's my mum, she's a bit wonky.
Yeah. Do you know? But you must have concerns for your daughters.
I do. Look, they've got a 50% chance of getting it, and I don't know the severity to which they will get it, so we haven't had them tested, because the test at this stage doesn't tell me the severity.
Yeah.
So Look, there are people out there, there's Australian researchers doing research, and it's moving along, and that's really what I'm putting a lot of my faith in research.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this Biggest Book Club. I think this is a really mighty idea as a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, so Australia's Biggest Book Group is an online fundraising event that's running now, and basically it's simple. We're saying to people, all you have to do is log online at www.australiasbiggestbookgroup.com. Purchase our novel Versace Sisters, which is written by Kate Kendall, an Australian author. It's a funny, light-hearted read that is appealing to women, and all the profits from this book, if they buy it through our website, go to muscular dystrophy research and care.
That couldn't be more easy, could it?
No, it's so simple, and basically...
It's very good of them too, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Kate Kendall.
Yeah, and you know, and Kate Kendall is two women who have written this book, and it's following their other book, Gucci Mamas, which was a bestseller. So I purposely picked it because I thought, right, this is fun, it's light-hearted, it sort of detracts from the seriousness of it. Our website is all luxurious and pink and black, and it's got chocolates and cashmere and diamond earrings as prizes, and you know, it's just fun. And I just thought,
it's cool.
Yeah, it's good to try and move away from it.
I want to talk about the research. Where is it up to, and down what avenue is the research heading?
Yeah, look, there's lots of different research going on. Certainly Duchenne's has one arm going on, and it's exciting and hopeful for parents with little boys with Duchenne's. And then for my one, FSHD, Bill Moss, who is an Australian, you know, people will know him from Macquarie Bank. He's very well known in that. And he, coincidentally, has the same sort of muscular dystrophy that I have. And he's set up a research organisation called FSHD Global. I'm very excited about it because he's actually funding really good Australian research that is actually, just in March, the Sydney IVF came up with a stem cell line specific to FSHD. So I think we've got...
That's extraordinary.
It's really good. And we've got Australian researchers doing groundbreaking Australian stuff. And that's... So Australia's Biggest Book Group supports FSHD and MDA. MDA are our local one, who also have a research line and do care for families affected with MDA, and FSHD obviously does research for FSHD.
It couldn't be easier to help, really, could it? Just jump online.
We urge people to do that.
Absolutely.
Great.
It's great to meet you. And,
Thank you.
You are an inspiration to your kids.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you very much.
You've got a wicked sense of humour too. David Kirkpatrick is sharpening his tools, but now some retail therapy.